Okay, hi. Sketchbook tour. Uh, Ignore this tripod. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be there because I can't figure out a way to film without like not showing whatever is holding up my phone. So that's happening. I tried to put ladybug stickers on it earlier to try to make it like look more appealing. Didn't help. I took them off. Um, I'm making sure to get a shot of my nasty paint palette. Maybe I'll move it. It's so gross. It's not gross. I like it. Other people think it's gross. I'm sorry, I'm projecting like their feelings for my paint palette onto myself. Um, it's like an inch layer. It like an inch like of fucking paint. Like, okay. I moved the palette. I want to get. I don't know. I'm trying to make like it not look so boring. Like make it at least like a little bit visually interesting. Like I put a blanket down. Anyways, sketchbook tour. I don't like it when people yap a lot in sketchbook tours, but maybe other people do. I'm so sorry if I'm talking too much. Let me know. Okay. Um, this is a sticker that my mom got me. At a little coffee shop in Pennsylvania. Be kind. I'm just a haunted Victorian child. Ah, love it. Okay. And I had a bunch of scrap paint. I remember I started working in a sketchbook when around the time that I really got into acrylic paint, okay? Like I am in love with painting now, but this was the beginning of an era. And so I didn't like the red and I just finished a painting and I had a bunch of scrap paint because I didn't yet know how to make sure I didn't put too much on my palette and waste a bunch. So that's that. And then a bunch of like me just making a mess. Red and pink. So I started this November 7th, 2024. Oh my god, it's crazy. Okay. This is a Moonrise Kingdom sticker. I love that movie. Orangutan. Sorry. Am I like out of camera? Let me check. Sorry. Okay. No, I think we're good. Okay. Yeah, orangutan. Pretty bees. Like, is that's not a freaking bee. I don't know what that is. Flowers. Now I remember. I actually had a painting of a mermaid on the cover, and I didn't yet have like good acrylic paint, so it was a really bad painting. Like it was chipping and stuff. So I just covered it up because I didn't like it. Like I drew the forehead too big or something. I don't know. But that was her. Like that's like the sketch I had. And yeah. So I left this page empty. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't used to, but now I do. I leave those pages empty. I remember I went camping and I was in my little hammock tent. I love hammock tents, by the way. They're so much fun. And I was just drawing. It was so cold, so I could not feel my fingers. Yeah. My hands are frozen and I can't feel my hands. Yeah. Yeah. And this is my view from the tent. Like a little peak, like a little hole. I'm homeschooled. I go to this co-op And I remember I was like bored, or it was lunchtime, and I just was not feeling it. Like I wanted to be home. Um, so I like went outside and I sat by this tree and I just started drawing. Yeah. And you'll see like writing on some of my pages. It's most of the time, or some of the time, it's like I'm listening to people talk around me, and I'll like write it down because I think it's funny. Yeah, yeah. Either that or just like my thought process and stuff. I had major art block. I always have really bad art block in the beginning of sketchbooks until I really get in my groove. So this is garbage. Um, this is also garbage. But my world religions teacher at my co-op, she said something like anything worth doing is worth doing bad, and I like wrote it down because I was feeling discouraged, okay, because I didn't like anything that I was making. Which is actually, I just started a new sketchbook and I feel exactly like that right now. Again. I don't know the beginning of sketchbooks. It's not it. Yeah. Just don't like them. I'll probably end up censoring a lot of this somehow. I'll figure it out. Because I do some figure studies in this sketchbook that, you know, they're naked people. And I don't know how YouTube will react to that. So I covered this up because I really didn't like it. I was a proud watercolor hater at the beginning of the sketchbook. And sadly, I'm not like that anymore. I actually really like watercolor. Yeah. This was a piece of paper from I helped teach a bookbinding class with my friend, and like I was messing around and I like was putting a bunch of paint on my arms and stuff, and I ended up scraping some off and like slapping it on a piece of paper, and I liked how it looked, so I brought it home with me. That's so ugly. Okay. This is obviously inspired by Parications. I love them. Yeah. So this was definitely like me watching Parications sketchbook tour and being like, guys, like, I want my art to look like theirs. Yeah, but this is completely just stolen. Like, I just redrew one of their drawings, but like with long hair. The rest of them I like didn't copy. I'm not gonna show this next page simply because it's naked people. Like, they're just figure studies, but I don't want to risk YouTube getting mad at me. This was, I went to a coffee shop, or I went like and hung out with a friend, and I was waiting for them to come. Like, I showed up like so early for no reason, and I was like just waiting, and I was drawing while I was waiting. That day was so much fun though. Oh my god, I like had so much fun. But it's from Thanksgiving, like those wine bottles that have the gold, I don't know what to call it, around it. Like foil. Just gold foil, whatever. This is supposed to be a self-portrait. It doesn't look like me though. It's when my tooth fell out. That's a beetle. Oh, and back to the tooth thing. I have my tooth back. It's no longer gone. But that's a beetle. that I found on the ground, and his legs were like folded in and he was dying. And then I walked past that same spot a few hours later and he wasn't there. I assume a bird got to him or something. This is my friend's cat. Since then he's passed away, which is so sad. He was a Mancoon and he was gorgeous. So yeah, more cats. So one of my favorite movies is Little Miss Sunshine, and so that's like supposed to be the girl from Little Miss Sunshine, and it doesn't look like her. When I first drew this, I thought it was Banger. I thought I was like Jesus himself. Like I don't. It's not good, but you know, whatever. Oh my gosh! And then I watched The Whale. Ah, I love this drawing. I have toilet paper right here to keep this drawing safe from this gouache because it was literally transferring. But there's that, like, gouache painting. But here, a moment for this drawing. Oh, bumping you. My bad. But, oh my god, I love it. That movie, I'm not gonna say my opinion on it now, but when I first watched it, I was like, guys, this is what I've been searching for my whole life. So yeah, like, so, yep, this ugly self-portrait. Every time I draw or paint myself, I look different. So I don't necessarily think they're like super accurate, but I definitely think that I captured like a part of myself, you know? I really like these. That's supposed to be me too. Ugh. This is when I first got acrylic paint. I'm scared I'm talking too much. Anyways, this is when I first got acrylic paint. It was Christmas, and I didn't know how to use it. That was me trying to figure it out. And my first painting is this apple. This was the start, like the beginning of an obsession with the color pink and green. Okay? I don't think I've made a painting since then without pink or green. Okay? And in the beginning, they were quite frankly just pink and green. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to branch out though. I'm trying to branch out and not just paint with pink and green. It's my doggy. She passed away in December. But I really like this page, and I like that I could like, I have this of her, you know? Just scrap paint stuff. I doodled on this envelope. It's like a little apple. Ah, apple. Anyways. Yeah. My dad got my mom a necklace. A Tiffany necklace. And my mom gave me the card. She's like, do you want it? Because I like scrapbooking and stuff, I guess, a little bit. So, put that in there. This is from that same coffee shop where I got this sticker. In Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, this is my first time. This is my first time not doing monochrome and like actually trying to do skin tones. And I followed this oil painting tutorial. Oh my gosh. This is actually crazy looking at now because I can do skin tones now. Oh my gosh. Like, this is crazy. He looks dead. he looks like a Prince Williams. Like, I don't know. Like, does anyone else know that prince or that king that was super inbred, but somehow he like kept hanging on to life, like magically? It looks like him. This is literally paint from my palette that I like peeled off and stuck on there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is Brittany Broski. Ignore the bottom half because I remember I like wrote some of my own notes and like I wrote them horribly. Like I didn't translate my thoughts very well. Yeah, I love her. I was listening to Brittany Broski podcast pretty often when I would draw. So that's cool. That was an era. And I remember while I was working on a painting that I ended up submitting to an exhibit, I was just listening to Brittany Broski podcast the whole time. That was really cool. Scrap paint, and then I like put pen to it, and Brittany Broski. Can you like see these? Like, I wonder if the quality is absolutely dog poop. Like, it's like I was at a friend's house, and I was at a friend's house, but my friends weren't there yet. I was just sitting at their table and taking a crayon to the page, and I was so bored. While I was waiting for them to get there. Paint, just a bunch of scrap paint. I had way too much scrap paint, okay? I'm better at like measuring my paint and how much I need now than I was then. These like King Art mixed media gel stick type things, and I love them so much. Like, I've made some really cool stuff with them. That I discovered them in my friend's basement when I was bored, and I was drawing tigers, and they gave me that to do it, and I fell in love. Oh my god. I'll put in some maybe pictures of the drawings of the tigers, but like they're so smooth and like fun to work with. They feel very freeing. But they're so cool, and I fell in love with them, and I got my own, and these are my own. I think you see them with those a few times in here, maybe. This is when I wanted to paint my wall, and this was like my idea. So I didn't end up doing it. Like, a lot of stuff happened, and I wanted to do it with my friend, but we're supposedly moving now, and it's not gonna work. Sadly. Yeah. These guys, my little mega minds. Oh my god, they're sticking together. Oh. Anyways, a unicorn. This was inspired by, I'll put the artist's name up on screen, I think. Because I don't remember. But, oh yeah, these though, I was inspired to make these by the Lorax, the truffula trees. Truffula? I don't remember how to say it. But yeah. This was me planning for an exhibit. Like what paintings I wanted to make for it. I was confused, okay? I was so confused. So basically the form that I had to fill out for the exhibit was like, oh, submit these 4 files for photos, So I thought that, oh, I get to have 4 paintings in the exhibit. No, you submit 4 and they like pick one. So I made 4 paintings for no reason. Yeah, that's fun. I didn't end up making any of these though. But this one and this one I already made. It was just like I was adding on like what other paintings did I want to make for the show. Messing with around with paint, which it looks kind of cool, and it's like it feels nice. Looking through the sketchbook is kind of crazy because so much happened in my life in this time, like during this sketchbook while I was working in it, and it's just like kind of sad, I think, because I don't think it was like a great time in my life. But I find like, I don't know, I really like this sketchbook. Ignore this one. This one's ugly. That's my dog. This one looks like her. This one does not. This is her too. People say they don't see anything in this one, and it kind of makes me mad. Like, just let me live. Like, it's a little abstract, okay? I remember I really liked this when I made it. But yeah, just scrap paint stuff. It was a dream I had. And it was like, me and my sister were at home alone, and this mailman came to the door, I think, and it was like the dude from Lilo and Stitch, like the social worker, and it was at the door, and he tried to kidnap me. Yeah. This was an idea for a painting I had. Kind of cool. A tiger. This is, I don't know what that is. It's, sometimes you just gotta let the pen flow, and whatever comes. But I was watching But I'm a Cheerleader while I was drawing this. I remember. I love that movie. Yeah. I was gonna paint a shark here, but I didn't. I ended up painting a shark on another piece of paper and giving it to a little boy at my co-op. He really loves sharks. He's going into kindergarten this year too, and he's, oh my gosh, he's getting older. It's so sad. Figure drawings. Yeah, really bad art block, obviously. Like these black pen ones, horrendous. These red ones, not as bad. Like this weird creature. Yeah, this is when stickers started coming into play more often, because I just didn't like a lot of my art again, I think. This is like, I was trying to make a pony Sona. Like, I feel like I would look like a mix of Pinkie Pie and like Fluttershy. I don't know. Anyways, maybe a little Rarity too. I did a test though, and I'm like, to see which My Little Pony I am, and I'm Fluttershy, and I'm only like 3% Pinkie Pie, and it made me so sad. Like, I swear I have a little Pinkie Pie in me. But yeah, I had a bit of Rarity and Fluttershy. A really bad horse drawing. Oh, this is my poetry. I'm a poet. Yeah. Oh, I gave him like childbearing hips for some reason. This guy, I go to this site for figure drawing. It's called like Sketch Daily. I don't know what I did to him, but I gave him like a fatty. I don't know what happened. Unfortunately, a self-portrait too, by the way. Also a self-portrait. I swear I draw myself like like in really unflattering ways. I'm gonna skip this next page, I think. Charcoal. Was this photo that I saw. It was in black and white on Pinterest, and it was like two people like kind of curled up on a rock near the ocean. Like, I liked it, but I don't know if you can really tell what it is unless I tell people what it is, you know? This was when I watched Beautiful Boy. I love Steve Carell. I've watched almost everything he's ever done. Dan in Real Life and Get Smart, I've watched 2 trillion times. It's not even funny. I just watched Get Smart again last night. And there was an era where I quite literally watched Dan in Real Life multiple times a day. It was on 24/7 for months. But yeah. Drawing Little Boy. Yeah. Oh, my mom, not my mom. My sister makes me sketchbooks sometimes, like binds books or staples them together, and this is one of them. Yeah. Super tiny, so I just like stuck it in here. I drew this at co-op. There was a class. It was like gaming or like, no, it was learning like poker and like chess and stuff like that. And I just didn't want to be a part of it, and so did a lot of the other girls. So we kind of just like went off into our own room and we're drawing and playing Uno and stuff. So, yeah. This is me trying to learn how to paint skin tones again. On top of some more co-op sketches. Better, but still really bad. Like, she looks like a corpse. Terrifying. This actually ended up being, I'm starting a painting from this sketch. Yeah. It's taking me a while though, because I started another painting actually that I'm way more motivated to work on. So yeah, I drew my sister while she was like playing with blocks. That, I don't know who that is. Random person. This is, it was Valentine's Day, and at my co-op, everyone was handing out, Valentine's, right? This was mine. It's a painting that I made. It's sitting in the corner of the room, actually, staring at me. He's pretty big, too, like, I think. Anyway, art block, again, I remember, right here I said, it's okay to make bad art with a frowny face. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. So, I remember this helped a bit. I like stood in front of the mirror and started drawing myself. It doesn't look like me at all. Quite frankly. But you know what helped, so can't get mad. My sister, like, she had like fallen asleep and I snuck into her room because I had scrap paint and I painted her. So my hair. That's supposed to be me when I was little. It doesn't look like me, but I think it captured something, so that's good. Dog. I was feeling sad again about my dog passing away, so I drew a dog. I actually ended up making this in a painting, kind of. See, I like it. Like, it's bad, but I like it. You know? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, that's how I feel about that. So. This was, I don't know. I started watching this show, a portrait show, Best Portrait of the Year. It's like a British show. Actually, yeah, I like these, you know? So, although, every time I try to, like, tone down green in the sketchbook, it ended up being blue, because I didn't understand color theory yet, so, yeah. Another doggy, a puppy. I remember I was on call with a friend while I was doing this, and I was, like, on my trampoline with watercolor. This was the beginning of me, like, liking watercolor. Yeah. It's like my yard. I don't know what this is. It's just ugly. This was me. My sister had been painting with me, and I looked at her palette, and by this point, I was way better with knowing how much paint I needed for a painting. She is still working on that, okay? And had a bunch of paint on her palette, so I took some and just started painting with it in here, and I tried to paint her while she was putting on her roller skates. It looks nothing like her. But in my defense, she stood still for 2 seconds, and then I just had to wing the rest of it, okay? So, yeah. If you ignore this side, though, and just look at this side, I kind of like it, you know? Cute. Watercolor. I went on vacation. This was me in Texas. And like the easiest art materials I think to travel with is watercolor. So I was forced to use watercolor, and I ended up really liking it. So birds. I really like painting birds in watercolor. This was me outside. It was so hot there. Oh my god. So, yeah, my legs. I was gonna draw something here, but I didn't. This was me in Idaho. This is from an art show in Texas, though. A cat. I really like these. These are so pretty, I think. I was gonna make this into a sticker. I didn't. Just notes. Birds, a cat. I found some pretty trees. Oh, I'm gonna have to skip this page. Or censor it. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. I don't know if I'll have to censor this. I probably will. There's so much in this I have to censor. Laris, I don't know how to say their name. But they're one of my favorite painters, and I bought a print from them. They're amazing. They gave me the sticker with the painting, and I love it. Oh my god, it's Snoopy. Pomegranate. My dog. Flowers. And this is when the sketchbook went downhill. Oh my gosh. Like, everything past this I don't really like. I remember I painted this and it looked like a haunted Victorian child. So I went in with pen and it looks slightly better. Still kind of scary though. I'll get a close-up of the haunted Victorian child. Like, yeah. I hadn't used colored pencil in a long time, so I wanted to do something with colored pencil. I have lost most of my colored pencils, so that's why I don't use them very often, even though I really like them. Acrylic paint. I really don't like this painting. So, it's my sister's 10th birthday, so I painted her when she was younger. Stickers. Yeah, I was so done with sketchbook. Like, look, I just dug a bunch of stickers in it. But this is a mama hippo trying to get home to her baby hippo that's in the field of the butterflies and beetles and happiness, but she's not gonna get home, obviously. Like, super Bambi-esque, you know? Anyways, unicorn. Unicorn. And that's the end. Oh my gosh. Yay. Yeah, and then I always use the last page as kind of like a swatch page. So, a bunch of notes and like random markings. Puberty Motel by Sagpie. Yeah. Watch it. I swear to God, it's so good. It's so good. I was watching Hannibal during the sketchbook and I became obsessed with it. Ugh, I love Hannibal. And there's a line in it where Will says, "You're fostering codependency," and Hannibal says, "Is that what I'm doing?" And I thought that was so funny. Yeah, and then a line from Little Miss Sunshine, "You are the most beautiful girl in the whole world." I love that movie. Anyways, the end. Thank you so much for watching. Yay. I'm sorry if I yap too much or I don't know. Yeah. Bye.